I feel like a traitor because I'm still close with family members who cut off my sister when we were kids long. Sorry for rambling. TLDR, my dad and his side of the family cut my sister 26F off for something she did when we were kids but continued to accept and love me 23M. Sister gets more and more depressed all the time because she has no family support other than me. No one will even tell me what she did to get cut off, and I feel like I'm betraying her while not wanting to lose the rest of my family. X200B, our parents have been divorced since I was really young, like 2 or 3. Mom had primary custody, but we spent a lot of time with our dad and his side of the family too, holidays especially. Then at some point when I want to say between 7 and 10, Dad started only picking me up and my sister, I'll call her M, stayed behind at Mom's. I don't remember if I asked why at the time. I was a kinda oblivious asshole kid who only cared about video games, and M and I didn't get along at that age, so I didn't question it. X200B, over time I found out it was because M did something that upset the adults on Dad's side of the family so bad that she got banned from all our aunts' and uncles' houses, and our grandma told our dad to cut her off completely. No one would tell me what she did, but M had a lot of emotional and behavior problems at the time, so I figured it was one of her tantrums or stunts at school that finally broke the camel's back, so to speak. X200B, M hasn't spoken to our dad or anyone from his family in at least 15 years, and her relationship with our mom never recovered from whatever happened back then either. So until I started getting more mature and making an effort to fix our relationship, she didn't really have anyone that showed her any family affection. X200B, a few years ago I started to notice that M gets depressed when she knows I'm going to see our dad's family, especially on holidays, so I tried to do the hero brother thing and facilitate a reconciliation. It didn't work out. Dad, Grandma, and anyone else in the family I approached about M said there's no coming back from her actions, but when I asked what that was, they got all uncomfortable and said it wasn't for them to tell me. I took that to mean I should ask M herself, so I did, but she got really upset and wouldn't tell me because it was too humiliating. Finally I gave up and asked Mom, which ended badly to say the least. Mom has a lot of issues when it comes to M in the past. X200B, this past Sunday of course was Easter and I went to Grandma's for the usual big family supper. I try not to mention anything when I go to family functions so as not to make M feel worse, but she's not stupid, she knows what goes on holidays. I decided to dip out early and surprise M with a drive to DQ, but when I got home I heard her crying in the living room like I can't even describe it, but she obviously thought she was alone in the house or she'd never cry like that. The sound straight punched me in the gut. I didn't want to embarrass her, so I left again and texted her from my car saying I'd be home in 20 minutes, went and got some ice creams for us, and came back. She wasn't crying when I got back, but it was obvious she was before. She mentioned that she came across some old family photos on her laptop and got kinda emotional. X200B, I'm feeling like a pretty crappy brother right now to say the least. My gut reaction is that no matter what M did, she was only a kid when she did it, and therefore cutting her off from our family was overkill, and I should be supporting her 100 instead of playing happy families on both sides. But at the same time I can't bring myself to ditch my dad's family and make myself an outcast too, because they've always loved and supported me. X200B, family drama sucks, man. I miss being the little self-centered asshole who had no clue any of this was going on. This BS must be why I always get urges to un-okay myself when I get too drunk. X200B, edit. This is a way bigger response than I expected. Thank you everyone who took the time to respond, and trust, I am reading all the comments, but in the meantime I'll address some of the points that keep coming up repeatedly. X200B. I really hope that CSA is not the cause of all this, but if it is, I want to know so I can go scorched earth on the whole family. Fuck that. The only thing making me doubt the CSA possibility at all is that I'm certain that if my sister was SA'd, our mom would have treated her even worse than she has. M is absolutely our dad's child. She looks like a gender-swapped clone of him. I have no idea if M is gay, bi, curious, or anything. She's never dated. She's never even had a friend. When we were little, before the family BS, she'd try to hang out, play with our cousins near her age, classmates, or neighbor kids, but they always either ditched her or attacked her pretty much immediately. She never socialized at all in high school and still doesn't. Yes, we're both aware our mom is an abusive boss. We have our own ways of coping with her BS and I'm saving up to move out. Unfortunately, M refuses to consider moving out because she's convinced she's incapable of living independently despite holding a full-time job for over 5 years now. M being articulate and incompetent is another one of our mom's long-time talking points. Related, M will not ever go to therapy. I've suggested it a bunch of times as an option to help her gain the confidence to move out of mom's, and she shuts it down every time. I might have another way of finding out what happened or at least getting an idea of it, since M won't say anything. I'm thinking 2 of my cousins might have heard something because they used to live in our grandma's house.